The following segments are pre-recorded and sponsored by Longworth Productions.
Major funding for Triad Today comes from Blue Cross Blue Shield of North Carolina, making healthcare better for all. Hospice nurses on Triad Today. Hello everyone, I'm Jim Longworth and welcome to another edition of Triad Today, coming to you once again from the Kernersville Auto Museum. It's a great place. We'll tell you more about that later on. And later on, so when the roundtable shows up, we'll get into all sorts of controversial topics with them. Some great guests, important information coming your way in the half hour, so stick with us. Where we want to start is I get to talk with two angels, and they are certainly that. And they are working for Mountain Valley Hospice. On my immediate right, Kelly Cahill is an RN case manager at Mountain Valley, and Mariah Tyler is an RN after hours. And ladies, thanks for being here.
Thank you.
I'm going to ask both of you to reply to this very quickly. Who or what inspired you to go into nursing? Was it a teacher, an aunt, uncle, mom, dad? So we'll start with you, Mariah.
Actually, my mom. My mom's a nurse.
Oh, okay.
Also, my grandmother was a nurse, so it's kind of.
So you got the whole lineage going,
yeah.
grandmother
yeah,
and
I'm
mother.
Third generation nurse.
Well, any specialties that they were in, or?
My mom did neurotrauma. Neurotrauma. My grandmother worked in a nursing facility for many years.
All right, Kelly.
Well, my dad wanted me to be a nurse from the time I was very small. It was he did X-ray technology, and he always wanted me to be a nurse.
How about that?
So I did that.
Now, Kelly, a lot of people don't know that this is when you help people who are in end stages of life or need your help. And I went through this with both my parents. You guys will come in and go to the home and really get to know folks and help them. So Kelly, just very briefly, what's the first thing that people can expect maybe on your first visit when you're helping people?
Well, when we go in, I always sit down and get to know everybody that's in the room. And that's very important so that they know that you are the case manager.
Right. That
you're going to be the one with them through this whole process. And you're going to make them feel comfortable as you possibly can.
Because they're also the caregivers. They got to be part of your team as you're working in there.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a little hectic at first when we first get a patient because everybody's coming in. But then, you set goals and plans and explain the medicines and how hospice works.
Yeah. It's really comforting to know when we get somebody like you to come in and work with us and the whole family's around there and gets on the same page about caregiving and what each person can do. Mariah, give me an example, or just what do you think is maybe something that people misunderstand about hospice and hospice care?
I think a lot of people misunderstand. They think it's maybe just for the patient, but we're actually there for the families. A big part of what we do is being there as a support system to the families, educating them and empowering them on how to take the best care of their loved ones. So they call us, we come to them, like you were saying, we go to them. They don't have to go to the doctor's office anymore.
Right.
They're just a call away. So.
I'm going to ask both of you to sort of finish up on this, which is what's gratifying to you about what you do? And I'll start with you, Kel.
Well, I feel like that two of the most monumental times in your life is a birth and a death. And we all go through that. And I feel like that we as hospice nurses in the whole organization, we have one shot to make this a good experience for our patients and their families.
Yeah.
And because I don't want them worrying, I don't want them being upset. They have enough to worry about. They're grieving as we do this.
Right.
So I think that we have to have empathy and we have to really put ourselves in their position.
Same thing. What's gratifying to you?
I think the most meaningful part of it is obviously helping them have a peaceful passing, and then just being there for the families. I find a lot of joy in being there for the families during this really difficult time.
And I'll remind folks at home that not that these ladies asked me to do this, but Mountain Valley Hospice is a nonprofit group, and they do not turn people away who need help. Up on screen, mountainvalleycares.org is a website I'd like for you to visit, Mountain Valley Cares, or you can call 336-789-2922, and I hope you will do that. And to you two angels And I appreciate what you do. I'm serious. Thanks for everything.
Thank you for having
thank
us.
You. Thank you.
We'll be right back after this.
I am so
Why can no one help me?
Waiting is a work. I think it's
Healthcare is broken.
At Blue Cross and Blue Shield of North Carolina, we get it.
Really?
Really. That's why we're making healthcare better for all. Starting with you. Yes, you, Daryl. We're making plans easier to navigate by putting your benefits, prescriptions, and details all in one place. Convinced?
No. But it's a start.
We'll take it. Blue Cross North Carolina. Making healthcare better for all. Starting with you.
North Carolina's economy is growing, bringing new businesses and opportunities. The need for electricity is growing too. At Duke Energy, we're meeting the challenge, providing even more electricity that's cleaner, reliable, and that stays affordable. We're getting out of coal and reinvesting in our communities with a diverse, balanced mix of energy sources and making targeted upgrades to the grid so that North Carolina can thrive in a smarter energy future.
Back now on Triad Today. Always glad we can spend a few minutes with the good folks from the city of Greensboro who do so much for a lot of people behind the scenes. But we're going to put this lady out front for a few minutes. Mary Hauser is lead coordinator, and that's LEAD. We'll tell you what that means in a minute. Lead coordinator in the city of Greensboro. Good to see you.
Thank you.
First of all, let's ask the obvious question. What does LEAD stand for, and what's it all about?
Okay. LEAD is Law Enforcement Assisted Diversion. So what that is, it gives officers an opportunity to divert low-risk crimes that are poverty-based, addiction, out of the criminal justice system into just available resources in the community.
And sort of like a counseling instead of incarceration.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's meeting people where they are, which is, what LEAD is about.
Right. What model do you apply to the case management of this? I mean, give folks an idea of how this works.
Okay. LEAD is more of a harm reduction model, which is meeting someone where they are, and that could be in any stage of change. And I like to say street case management, because I don't have a typical office.
Right.
I'm in the community, and it's just I don't look at their past or any type of substance use. It's just, where are you today?
Right.
Like, how can I help you get out of any run-ins you may have had with an officer?
And now, could this have been somebody as a high school senior who got caught with drugs, or it could be any number of things?
Yes, someone with a history, and they could have been through probation, maybe drug court, other, opportunities, but still weren't successful. And, having the past jobs that I've had with drug court and criminal court, I've seen all different sides of it.
Right.
And I really do believe in the harm reduction.
Why is this, and you were sort of getting at it there with that last answer, why is this so important for everybody?
Just because it's not a one-shoe-fits-all. And I've had a lot of successes in drug court when I worked there, and I've also been to a lot of funerals from drug court where you're forcing someone to, do something that they may or may not want to do. And typically that doesn't work in the end.
Right.
And sometimes it does, and that's great. But they could go back to use and overdose something, and die. And so therefore I like to just ask them how I can help you. Of course, my long-term goal is sobriety for someone, but it's just at that point keeping them alive.
Right.
And what is it that you need? Is it inpatient? Is it just connecting with a harm reduction agency such as Survivors Union or GC Stop, and just make sure that they have the supplies they need?
Well, now, who or what led you to a career in public safety? Was it a teacher, an aunt, an uncle, a parent?
No. I had a lot of different areas to choose from in my family. And law enforcement and nursing were kind of the running. And I thought I wanted to go into nursing, and I took an elective in juvenile justice. I don't know why.
And that was it.
And it changed my life. Well, I spent 10 years in juvenile justice. So,
that's right.
I saw the need for change, and it wasn't so much the criminalization. It's people just need help sometimes, and not just, I say go across the street because I work across the street from the jail, but some people just need that extra person in their life to support them no matter what. I'm
Right.
like, I have a no judgment zone. You're not going to upset me.
Yeah.
I can only help you if you tell me where you are.
Well, what's gratifying to you personally about doing all this?
Because I've seen a lot of success, and I still have a lady. We still keep in touch. She was my first graduate from the program, and she was an overdose, and she wasn't even 21, I guess. And I connected her with different resources, and she graduated and she moved home back to Boston, and we still keep in touch. And she was like, I saw you as a mentor back then, and now I can call you my friend. And she just makes me smile because I see that she sent me a text on her year that she met me, and she was like, I met you on my worst day of my life a year ago, and it changed me.
Bless your heart. Up on screen, greensboro-nc.gov is the general website, or I believe you can call Mary at 336-894-0400 for information. I really appreciate what you do for so many people. Thanks, Mary.
Thank you.
We'll be right back after this. Hi, I'm Jim Longworth, reminding you that Triad Today also airs on GTN Spectrum Channel 13 and streams on WFMY Plus, free on Roku and Amazon Fire.
The world's brightest are Fulbrights, Goldwaters, McNairs, and Spartans. Prestigious doesn't have to be expensive. UNCG, find your way here.
Back now on Triad Today. Always glad we can spend some time with the good folks at Truliant. And this time, the good folks, and I'm specifically mentioning Attica Simpson, Executive Director of the Truliant Foundation and Government Affairs for Truliant Federal Credit Union, has a special guest of his own who happens to be a friend of mine who's been on the show before. And if you followed all that, I'm sorry for you. Pam Anglin is Foundation Director for College Advancement at GTCC. Welcome, everybody.
Thank you.
Atticus, let me start with you. We've talked before, you and I, on the show about the Truliant Foundation's commitment to the Triad, to support for schools, education in general. Now, bring us up to speed on what's going on these days.
There's a lot going on. It's been a good first half of the year, but thanks for having us, by the way. We always enjoy being here. We continue to position ourselves as a community bridge to a brighter tomorrow, and things seem to be working well as we try to lift up and transform member communities through charitable giving, collaboration, and meaningful partnerships.
Yeah, and I know that workforce education is something that you really like to focus on.
Yes,
how does Truliant Foundation support that effort?
Absolutely. Thanks for asking that. We're leaning into that because there's a greater need for that in the community. And so we've been doing some things through our scholarship programs. We have a community mini grant program that we provide professional development funds for nonprofit organizations. And then, of course, through our normal charitable program, we work with great organizations like our partner here at Guilford Tech Community College to provide funding for students who need a little help to go get a credential, workforce credential, just training so they can make a livable wage.
That's right. Pam, I understand GTCC recently held a new student orientation. How are things looking for the start of the new classes?
Oh, wow. It's off and running. Classes started August 14th. We have a record number of students because enrollment's been up over the past year between 10 and 15%. So we're really thrilled to have so many students. We have over 80 programs. So there's something for everybody, and it's a new school year.
Absolutely. Now, what kind of degrees and workforce education programs are hot right now? What's the big thing?
Oh, there's several big things going on. I mean, I couldn't name all 80 plus programs, but
sure,
of course,
go ahead.
aviation.
We'll just extend the whole program. That's right.
Aviation's big. We know aviation's big.
Well,
we've got quite a few certifications and degrees. Pilot license.
Yeah, because last week we had Julie Felger on from Jet Zero, and she mentioned you.
Yes,
so,
they're we're so thrilled to have them. Did a big groundbreaking with them. We're doing expanding of our aviation campus, so aviation's big. The skilled trades are growing, of course. There's huge needs there. HVAC, truck driving is big for us. We've got lots of enhancements going on all of our campuses. All 6 campuses are growing and expanding, and then of course our 2-year associate's degree program is solid.
Yeah, putting you and Atticus on the spot, but Pam, how important is support from Truliant Foundation, for example, in helping you with your mission?
Support is essential. I mean, the government, the state, lots of funding around tuition and fees. Our college has invested a lot in the local students with helping them with tuition and fees, but some of these skills trade programs have lots of equipment that are expensive, whether it's dental hygiene kit to clean teeth, a welding hood for the welding program.
Yeah.
It's not only the tuition and fees that's expensive for the students that could be a barrier, it's these other costs associated with the skills and the special needs and tools the students need. Also, our students are local. They live here, they work here. Most of them have jobs. Many have families. So those non-academic supports, like what Triad Foundation provides for us, is essential around making sure that there's not barriers that would keep them from coming to class or keep them in school.
And Atticus, this partnership with GTCC and cooperation is a win-win for everybody, right?
It's a win-win for everybody, particularly your students who sometimes are a flat tire away from having to drop out of school. And we want to keep people in school. And to be quite honest, the community college student is very consistent with our membership based, and whereas a community college is providing guidance to citizens who are trying to better themselves and their families, we're doing the same thing on the financial education side, or just financial guidance inside. So the partnership is just so aligned and just beneficial, and we're really proud to be a part of it.
Well, up on screen, gtcc.edu is the general website. Lots of portals you can go through there to learn about all the different programs that Pam was mentioning. She says there's like 80 million of them, but we'll have her back sometime and she'll do the other 79 million. gtcc.edu, and also TrueLiant, fcu.org/foundation. You can go to for more information on that. To my friends Atticus and Pam, thanks for what both of you are doing for so many people.
Yeah,
Appreciate
thank you very much.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
We'll be right back after this.
I got free meals. What do you mean? No, seriously, how much did you pay us? I didn't pay anything. I learned how to cook all of these fresh foods that were delivered to my house. Everything in that grocery bag that's fresh, I had a recipe for it, and I know how to cook. It encouraged us to eat better, to shop better, make better decisions.
Now boarding zone 3.
Back now on Triad Today. I'm excited about meeting this first guest. She is from Blue Cross Blue Shield of North Carolina. Cheryl Parquet is Associate Vice President of Community Engagement. She was also named one of the top 50 women leaders in the state. See, I checked up on you.
Oh, all right.
So I am honored to have you here.
Thank you. Honored to be here.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but Blue Cross Blue Shield of North Carolina is the only not-for-profit insurer that covers members from across all 100 counties of the state. Now, that's a vast area. So my question is, what's your approach to addressing local health challenges?
Yeah, Jim, that's a great question. And so about 2 years ago, we took our executives out and we went to go visit all 100 counties. We met with community partners, leaders, legislators, our members, and just really had conversations about what are the challenges that are happening in North Carolina. And so through those conversations, we've really been taking an intentional approach on how we're changing our products and our services, and then really just how are we meeting the most challenging needs right now that we see in our community. And so we're focusing on youth mental health, improving access through food, and expanding health through food as well.
Well, what kind of partnerships and coalitions and things do you, agencies and folks do you coordinate with? How do you make this all happen? Because I know, although you do great work, you're only one person.
Right.
So how do you make all this happen?
So it's our community partners, right? At the end of the day, it is working very locally with people that are in the community. They know the community that they're serving. We're here working with our foundation to make investments in the community with the goal that we're helping these community partners be able to work smarter.
Well, in your title, as I mentioned at the head of the segment, is the phrase community engagement that you're head of. So let's circle back to that for a second. How do all your community engagement efforts and things you've just been talking about, how does that coalesce with your and be consistent with your mission, with Blue Cross Blue Shield North Carolina's mission?
Yeah, so our mission is to improve the health and well-being of all of our customers and communities. And so I say it all the time, it's a part of our DNA. It's how we show up each and every day. Our neighbors in our state, we live, we work, and we play with them. And not a lot of people can say that, but we show up each and every day for them. And while we're working on our youth mental health challenges in our state, we understand that they're so pressing right now. When you think about the hurricane in Western North Carolina and what's happened, we've seen the rise of, just the youth mental health with the youth there as well. And so really focusing on this, we're working around how do we work with school organizations to make sure that we're providing services in schools. We're doing on-demand services as well, and also just supporting our community partners that are doing this work.
I want to ask you a personal question, because you told me before we started that you and your family from Mebane, so you get to watch us on the weekends. Who or what led you to a career in healthcare? Was it mom, dad, aunt, uncle, teacher, friend?
Yeah, I'll say is my why when I think about it. It is I understand that these nonprofits were there to support me and my family when we needed it growing up. And just understanding the value of what the food bank means to so many different families, right?
That's right.
Understanding what it means to go to a free clinic and be able to get services there, and how important these safety net organizations are for our community.
Well, then I'll flip it around on you. What's most gratifying to you about what you do with and for Blue Cross Blue Shield North Carolina in community engagement and beyond? What's gratifying to you?
I think it is the ability to meet with so many different people across our state and understand their needs, and then being able to go back and have conversations with our community partners and say, how can we support you to do the work? At the end of the day, our investments are there to support our partners. They are the ones on the ground each and every day doing the work, and Blue Cross shows up to be able to give them that little bit of financial investment. We bring our volunteers out, our employees are there as well to be able to help in the community they serve in as well.
Yeah, I just appreciate what you're doing. Up on screen, I want people to check this out. Go to bluecrossnc.com. Please do that. Bluecrossnc.com is a website, lots of different portals to it that can get you all sorts of information. And Cheryl Parquet, our new friend, so glad you came, and I hope you won't be a stranger and come back.
Thank you.
Thank you, my friend.
Thank you.
We'll be right back after this. Hi, I'm Jim Longworth, reminding you to catch my column Longworth at Large and Yes Weekly every week. It's available throughout the Triad, or you can go online, yesweekly.com. Major funding for Triad Today comes from Blue Cross Blue Shield of North Carolina, making healthcare better for all. Back now on Triad Today, just about time for the roundtable with a quick shout out to the good folks here at the Kernersville Auto Museum. It's a great place. You can come here, visit it for free. Oh, you won't believe what's in here. So come and see it Friday, Saturdays, and Sundays. Right now, well, we're on Saturdays and Sundays, and you can see us right now. Next to me on my right, but always the political left, Ogie Overman. Of course, our commissioner, chairman of the Board of Commissioners in Forsyth County, Don Martin, is here with us. Dr. Don Martin, and Dave Briggs, Mr. Theater, is with us. Okay, guys, this past week, Nexstar announced it was buying Tegna, giving Nexstar ownership of 265 TV stations. Now, you might say, well, what do we care? Well, you should care, because if the purchase is confirmed, local stations here, WGHP, WFMY, will be owned by the same company. Guys, you have a problem with one company owning two of the top 4 news stations in our market. Ogie.
I definitely do, Jim. Not so much because the reporters themselves are going to be biased, but the ownership groups are always have an agenda. And they can sway the news one way or the other, and it's usually to the right.
Dr. Martin.
Well, I guess, and I may be more naive on that, but I sort of think that the networks, because you got 2 different networks, and I think the network, kind of their policies, their issues, their programming, whatever, will trump that. Now, and I think, it's kind of like it's about making the money, and you make money if you have different opinions, and it may not be a problem at all.
Dave.
Yeah, I have a lot of the same issues that Ogie has, although I see them leaning a little farther on the left side. Fox tends to be a little more right, but CBS tends to be a little more on the left-hand side. It creates a little bit of a local monopoly, and I don't think that that's fair. But Don's right. The networks are going to send down with the pipe what they want to send
All right,
down.
earlier this month, President Trump sent National Guard troops into Washington, D.C. Now he says he wants to do the same with other cities. Guys, you okay with federalizing local police forces? Ogie.
I certainly am not. I mean, this is the beginning of the police state. You can just see it coming incrementally, day by day.
Don.
We're in it.
No, I actually think governors and states need to be, I mean, when you call the National Guard out, that's the governor's role.
Right.
In Washington, D.C., I think you clearly have some quasi-presidential authority there. I can see that clear, but I can't for the states.
But Dave, but not bring them into Greensboro or Winston?
Absolutely not. No, the District of Columbia is different. That is that is our head of government, and that was fine. But to do it in Chicago or New York or Los Angeles, no.
All right, there's an ongoing debate locally over who should have access to police videos. Currently, under state law, only persons who are recorded by those cameras, the police body cams, their attorneys, police command staff, can view the footage. Do you think all taxpayers should have access to police videos, Ogie?
Well, I think anybody who files a FOIA request, Freedom of Information Act request, should have access to the videos. I do.
Well, I think in this day and time, anyone with, I mean, there are a lot of things in videos that if it gets edited out and you're picking 3 sentences when in fact there were 10 minutes worth, and the context of every involvement makes a difference in public opinion, I probably think there needs to be, and I think there is a way for both the individual and for the law enforcement to actually use the tapes to defend actions that when people are claiming that police brutality or claiming
and see it in context. Dave.
Yeah, I agree with what Don is saying, because I don't think that the general public needs to see that. That's you have victims as well as the perpetrators, and then you have the police that might be interacting with them. There's a lot of parties involved with that, and the way things can be edited now, oh man, sky's the limit.
A local Chick-fil-A restaurant in Ohio is coming under fire for a new policy. Beginning last week, anyone under age 17 who wants to dine inside must be accompanied by an adult over the age of 21. Guys, would you like to see all restaurants adopt this policy? Ogie.
No, I mean, what have we come to? I'm sure the kids were acting up in there, but you can't paint all kids with the same brush. Kids have a right to go in a restaurant and eat, take a date in there or something.
So you're against having the Don, what do you think?
Well, I kind of think it's a business decision, and I think kids have money, and they're going to spend them, and probably I'd want to make their money, and I'd probably ask them to leave their misbehaving. However, I can also see them patrons. You may want to make a decision. It's your clientele and your business.
It sounds like that restaurateur had an issue with a group of people, and he's saying no. Do I want it around here? No. But if a business says, look, we've got to protect our business, then that's their job. That's their business.
Finally, speaking of restaurants, IHOP recently offered a special menu that included pancakes made with 24-karat gold icing. The gold pancakes cost $100 per stack. Guys, would you pay $100 for a stack of pancakes? Ogie Overman.
I can't imagine any universe that I would do that.
You don't think so?
Ever.
Don Martin?
I can't either.
You don't, even it's got nice icing though.
And I don't eat sugar, so
yeah. Dave?
I can't imagine it, but I kind of wonder what the guys in the sanitation department are going to do.
That's right. All right, these guys do not have a sweet tooth for that. All right, that's all the time we have. Oh, except for this. A police officer in Nashville was fired last week because he was making adult films while on duty. Talk about body cam footage. You like that?
Good.
For all of us here on Triad Today, I'm
good.
Jim Longworth. We'll see you next week.